The assessor checks whether the area is clean, well lit, and free from distractions. The layout is also assessed to ensure it allows for proper observation without interfering with the candidates. The assessor verifies that all materials and equipment required for the assessment are present. Each piece of equipment is inspected to ensure it is in good working condition and sufficient for the number of candidates. The test representative reviews the assessment package for completeness. This includes confirming the presence of the assessor's guide, competency assessor script, candidate's guide, and rating sheet. Finally, the AC manager checks the attendance sheet and candidate records. It is verified that the names match the registered candidates and their IDs. They confirm whether all candidates are signed in for the scheduled assessment.
Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Good. Thank you for your feedback. My name is Daylin Aminting. I'm your accredited competency assessor for photography NC Level 2. My accreditation number is ACN 2026-0132. And welcome to our assessment center. And congratulations on taking this important part on your professional development. But before we begin, may I call on our test representative from regional office, Mr. Aaron Joseph Espedido. Thank you, sir. And our assessment center manager, Mr. Melvin Olanday. Thank you, sir. Good morning and welcome. Please do not be concerned with their presence as they are solely here to observe whether this assessment is conducted based on TESDA's prescribed methodology and procedure, and they will not assess you. Let us now begin with attendance check. When I call your name, please present to me your admission slip and sign here the attendance sheet. Ms. Sagisag? Hi, Ms. Gudo. Ms. Agudo, right? Thank you. Thank you, Miss. I also have here your self-assessment guide, which are accomplished by all of you. This was signed and evaluated by our AC manager. Thank you, sir. And the checklist on this and signatures indicate that you believe you know and can perform all the units of competency qualification. I have also verified the completeness of your assessment package, your application documents, and supporting documents. Everything now is in order and you are confirmed ready to take your national assessment. Before I continue to our orientation, I will now first distribute the test consent form and please read it carefully.
This form authorizes the assessment center and TESDA to collect your personal information, including the CCTV footage of today's assessment, strictly for the purpose of implementing the assessment and certification program. Your data will be shared only with authorized TESDA personnel and will be retained for no more than 2 years. You have the right to access, correct, or request erasure of your data in accordance with Data Privacy Act of 2012.
Please sign it. Here, here. Thank you, Miss Agisag. Thank you, Miss Agudo. Thank you. I will now orient you for today's assessment. The purpose of this assessment is to determine your current level of competency against the national standard for photography NC Level 2.
A national certificate under the Philippine Tibet Qualifications Framework, or the PTQF, will serve as the basis for issuing your NC2. Photography NC2 is a full qualification that consists of basic, common, and core competencies. The core units of competencies covered in today's assessment are operate camera and compose a subject, set up studio lights, equipment, and accessories, perform post capture processing, and present finished products.
To gather evidence of your competency, we will use two valuing assessment methods. First is demonstration. You will perform actual photographic tasks using the provided equipment under time conditions. Second is oral questioning. I will ask questions to assess your underpinning knowledge and verify evidence gathered during the demonstration. The evidence I will collect will be evaluated in terms of validity, consistency, currency, authenticity, and sufficiency, and will be judged against the four dimensions of competency: task skills, task management skills, contingency management skills, and job enrolled environment skills. Understood? Before we go further, I need to ask whether any of you have particular needs that should be considered during the assessment. For example, if you have difficulty reading written instructions in English, I can provide them orally or translate them into your dialect. Also, if you have a physical condition, medical concern, or religious or cultural practice that may affect your participation, just let me know because any adjustment I will make for you must be reasonable, meaning they cannot compromise the integrity of the competency standards or place undue burden on the assessment center. And please speak up now so I can assist you appropriately if you have problem, okay? I also wish to inform you of the following roles and responsibilities for today's assessment.
Occupational health and safety. At all times, observe proper handling of equipment. Report any unsafe condition to me immediately. Assessment may be suspended if unsafe behavior is observed. For confidentiality, the questions used in oral questioning and all assessment content must not be shared with anyone outside this room. This protects the integrity of the assessment for future candidates. Mobile phones must be set to silent mode and must not be used during the assessment. Photography of the assessment area and other candidates is strictly prohibited. Conflict of interest. If you feel there is any reason that this assessment may not be fair to you, please raise it now. Right to appeal. If you disagree with your result, you have the right to file an appeal within 48 hours by submitting a written letter of appeal to the assessment center.
I will now distribute the competency assessment agreement sheet. Please read each question carefully and answer all items honestly. These documents confirm that you understand the purpose, scope, and procedures of this assessment and that you agree to participate under these conditions. Do you have any questions or clarifications on this part? Please ask them now because once the assessment officially started, I can no longer provide guidance or clarification on the task. Anyone? Miss Sagisag? No? Miss Aguda? No. Okay, so
Let us now proceed to the practical work area, and I have already assigned you the following candidates numbers, starting with candidate number 1, Miss Agudo, can you stand up? And candidate number two, Miss Sagisag. So please follow me along with our tester representative and AC manager. Are you ready now, Miss Agudo and Miss Sagita? Yes. Do you feel any pressure right now? Okay, so I will now read your specific instructions. Please listen carefully. Given the necessary tools, equipment, and materials provided, can you hold this one? Thank you. You are required to demonstrate the following tasks. Capture and compose photographic images, applying the techniques for composing a subject in accordance with the standard set for photography NC Level 2. Remember that you will have 5 hours to complete this task. All your outputs will be evaluated as part of your evidence for competency. Please observe the operational health and safety throughout the demonstration. When you have completed your output, please raise your hand to notify me. I will check your work before we proceed to oral questioning. You may now begin. Okay, I can see that candidate 1 and candidate 2 have already completed their demonstration. I will now check your output against the rating sheet, starting with Miss Agudo, followed by Miss Sagisag. And now we can now proceed to the learning resource area for the oral questioning. Please follow me. All right. So just to set the expectation for the oral questioning, candidate 1 and candidate 2, oral questioning is conducted individually, one candidate at a time. The other candidates will wait outside or in a separate area, which is here, no? So they cannot hear questions. This is for the purpose to protect the integrity of the questioning tool. Okay, candidate number 1, Miss Augusto, please have a seat. All right, Miss Agudo, before anything else, I would like to acknowledge first your effort during the demonstration. Now, I would like to ask a question. How do you feel right now after the everything?
Yes, sir. I feel satisfied with my performance today. I was able to apply all the techniques I was learning doing the training. Although I was a little nervous, I did my best to compose shots properly and follow the required procedures.
Okay, now Agudos, I've heard that you did your best, right? Now, I want to know how did you feel or did you feel satisfied with your procurement during the demonstration?
Yes, I feel satisfied. I think I did my best and do all the needed tasks to do.
Okay, thank you. Now, I will ask you a few questions to supplement the question of the evidence gathered during the demonstration, and you may answer the best of your ability. For the question 1, can you explain the rule of thirds and how you applied it in composing your subject today?
So the rule of thirds is a composition technique where the frame is divided into 9 equal parts using 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines. The subject is placed along these lines or at third intersections,
to create more balanced and visually appealing image. So during the activity every learn, I position my subject slightly off-center, following the rule of thirds to make the composition more natural and engaging.
Okay. For the question number two, if your subject has a distracting background, what techniques would you use to minimize it?
So if my subject has a distracting background, I can minimize it by changing the camera angle or position, using a wider departure to blur the background, zooming in the closer to the subject, or simplifying the background before taking the shot. I can also use proper lighting to help separate the subject from the background.
All right, Aguda, that's it. While we are finalizing your results, you can wait in the waiting area.
Thank you.
Mr. Rizal, have a seat. Okay. So, how are you feeling today, Mr. Rizal?
I'm feeling good, but kind of nervous with how I did with the demonstration process.
Speaking of demonstration, how you feel about your performance today?
I think I did my best, but I think I can do better.
Okay. So, here are your questions. For the question number one, what factors do you consider when selecting a camera angle for composing a portrait subject?
Usually, what I consider when composing a portrait subject is the background, whether it looked good on my perspective.
Okay. For the question number two, how do you ensure your captured images meet the client's or workplace quality requirements?
Since I'm a beginner, I usually ask my supervisor or my clients whether they like my output or not.
Okay.
And then I adjust it based on their feedback.
Okay. So that's it. Again, I would like to congratulate you, Ms. Salisan. While we are finalizing your result, you may also wait in the waiting area.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Agudo, I have reviewed all the evidence I have gathered from your demonstration and your oral responses. Before I share my decision, how do you feel about your overall performance?
I feel satisfied with all my performance today from demonstrating and answering my question.
All right. So thank you for that reflection. Based on the evidence collected today, during the demonstration, you correctly applied techniques including appropriate use of frame and subject placement in a manner consistent with industry standards. Your outputs showed clear attention to the principles required under the competency standard. Your oral responses were accurate and demonstrate a solid understanding of the underpinning knowledge for the unit. Taking all evidence together, my decision is that you're competent for photography and C level 2. Again, congratulations, Ms. Agudo.
Thank you po.
Please sign this rating sheet and the competency assessment result summary to acknowledge this result. Okay, do you agree with this result?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, once again, congratulations, Ms. Verena.
Thank you.
Ms. Tagisag, thank you for your effort today. Before anything else, I would like to share my observations. What do you think about your performance today?
Actually, I think I did my best.
I appreciate your honesty. Let me share my feedback in video. There are areas of terms worth noting. You demonstrate familiarity with basic camera handling and show clear effort in executing the task. Your knowledge of lighting conditions in fact reflected in your oral responses was also adequate. However, I have noticed that during your demonstration, I observed that there is a specific error, like the composed images did not consistently apply the required techniques for subject framing and focus. resulting in outputs that did not fully meet the quality standard. This drop directly tied to the performance criteria under the operate camera and compose a subject. And based on the totality of evidence gathered, my decision is that you are not yet competent at this time. This is not a final judgment of your ability. It identifies rather a specific area that you need to focus more and you need to enhance to practice so that we can address more. And with that, I would like to recommend to you that the techniques for composing a subject, particularly, and the practice applying them in control are varied settings. If you disagree with the decision, you have the right to file a written appeal within 48 hours rather, at the assessment method. And with that, this time BTARS to acknowledge receipts of of the result. Before anything else again, I would like to ask for the final word. Do you agree with this result? Again, I would like still to acknowledge your effort and congratulations, Mr. Gustavo. That concludes competency assessment for photography NC level 2. And on behalf of the assessment center, thank you for your time and effort.